Many years ago, Margaret and I lived in Hedgesville, West Virginia. Population 372. It's a small place. And one Christmas morning, with snow on the ground, we set out for Mass with our three girls. On the way to church, we were listening to the radio, and it was a country station. I didn't grow up with country music, so every song I heard was brand new. Country music does a great job telling stories, probably better than any other kind of music. On the way to church that Christmas morning, we listened to one of these story songs. It told of an old man who lived by himself down a dirt road far from town. He was neither rich nor was he poor. Christmas morning, he awoke and began the day as he always did, on his knees. He prayed that he could see the infant Jesus, hold him in his arms, and caress his cheek. The good Lord answered the old man and told him that he would indeed see the Lord that day. The Lord promised, and he knew that this promise would be kept. It would be his Christmas gift. Certainly a great gift, and perhaps even the greatest gift. As he was fixing breakfast that morning, he heard a knock on the door, and he opened the door and saw an older man. This man was desperately poor, cold, hungry, and tired. The old man welcomed him into his home and gave him breakfast, and the old man ate as he warmed himself by the fire. And before the old man left, he gave him a scarf, gloves, and a hat. After breakfast, the old man cleared the table and washed the dishes and tidied up the house because he knew he would soon have a guest, and he wanted everything to be perfect. Around mid-morning, he heard another knock on the door. And it was a young boy, probably 10 or 11 years old. And he recognized the boy, and he knew that he lived with his mother, his widowed mother, about a half mile down the road. The young boy asked if he could have some firewood. He and his mother had used the last of what they had. The old man took him to the woodshed and gave him as much as he could carry and invited him to return when he needed more. The old man returned to the house. He ate lunch, cleared the table, banked the fire, sat down to read as he waited for Jesus to arrive. He was confident that Jesus would arrive. God had promised. Later that afternoon, he again heard a knock on the door. Now he was getting a little bit frustrated and certainly irritated. At the door was a woman, and she told him that she was on her way to visit her daughter and who was about to deliver her first child. And she got lost in the snow and had not eaten since early that morning. So the old man gave her something to eat and sent her on her way with directions that brought her directly to her daughter's house, and she arrived in the nick of time. After she left, it began to get dark and colder, and the old man knew that Christmas would soon be over. He prepared and ate supper, and by the time he completed all his chores, he was ready for bed. He ended his day where it began, on his knees. But this time he complained to God that God did not keep his promise. He said he waited all day long with confidence and hope and faith, and he just didn't understand. He stopped complaining long enough to hear Jesus say, "Didn't you feed and clothe the old man? Didn't you give firewood to the young boy and his mother? Didn't you give directions to the woman who was lost?" And the old man said, "Yes. Yes, I did." And Jesus said, "I kept my promise. I was with you all day long." The Christmas story and the story about the old man are miracle stories. And miracles happen. It doesn't matter where you live or who you live with, miracles happen. A kindness, a recognition, an encouraging word, a note to a friend, a prayer for someone who did you wrong. As Christians, we know and believe that these are miracles. With each miracle, we encounter Jesus. With each kindness we give or receive, we encounter Jesus. In the breaking of the bread, we encounter Jesus. And just like 2,000 years ago in Bethlehem, and just like the man who waited all day long, we encounter Jesus every day. And just like us, in this season of Advent, this season of preparation, we wait on the Lord. And when we take off the blinders that limit our vision, we realize and believe that Jesus never left our side.